Jamie here from Preschool STEAM. We are in the middle of our 5-day STEAM challenge that is all about plants. So all this week I have been taking you through the process that I go through when creating a whole STEAM unit or STEAM activities based on a certain theme. And you guys voted in the group and voted for plants, so that's been our topic this week. Now to review, day 1 we talked about open-ended exploration of plants and how to set up a discovery center. Then in day 2 I showed you my process of how I create STEAM challenges, and a challenge is just more it's still open-ended, but more a quick STEAM activity for those times that maybe you don't have time for an ongoing investigation or a more in-depth activity. Now today, I'm going to take you through and show you how I create then a STEAM investigation. And an investigation, it can look many different ways. It can be ongoing. It could just be something that takes the student learning a little further. You can dig deeper into what your students are curious about while integrating the standards that you need to teach. So, as I said, our topic this week is all about plants, and so we're going to continue with that today. Now, today's investigation is quite a simple one. It's not any big wow or different type of activity, but what the difference is I'm going to show you how we can take it and make it STEAMy, how we can integrate those other disciplines and integrations into the STEAM activity. So for plants, it only makes sense that the investigation should be growing a plant. I know students get so excited when they actually see the sprout coming through the dirt and actually making or creating and taking care of their own plant. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, there are many different ways that you can do this with a classroom of students. You can use, well, first there's a variety of beans. I know the lima bean is a very standard one that a lot of preschool teachers use, and in the fact that it's quick growing. So you do want something that is quick growing so that you can see results and study them in the classroom. Today we are actually going to use one of the seeds that we had. If you remember when we talked about discovery trays or centers, we had this tray out with different types of seeds, and we're going to take our bean seed and go ahead and plant that. Now it doesn't really matter what seeds, so if you just have different seeds that your students have been investigating, then go ahead and try that. Like I said, you don't have to be a scientist to necessarily do a science activity. I know, as I mentioned on day 1, I really don't have a green thumb at all, but you learn together with your students. If it doesn't sprout, you can talk about then different reasons why. Now, I will recommend that you go ahead and maybe plant a few extra seeds so that in case one student doesn't sprout, maybe there are some extras and you guys can study why you think one didn't versus why one did. So to plant your seed, this is how we're doing it. Oh, my water is stuck on the tray. So we have a clear cup. Now mine's not actually clear, it's translucent, but I would recommend a see-through clear cup. Then that way the students can actually see through the cup. But I'm always using the motto, use what you have, and this is what I had today, so this is what we're using. And then you will want to go ahead and write the student's name on it. Now if they can write their own, that's fabulous. Otherwise you can go ahead and have them pre-made with their name. Then we're going to scoop our dirt. And there is a bucket of dirt, and we have our scoop. Now, once again, you want to be sure to use dirt that is non-fertilized with the students, just so then there's not that icky part. So use clean dirt if possible. Otherwise, use gardening gloves, and obviously be sure to wash hands. And then you're just going to scoop the dirt, put it into your cup. You may need 1 or 2. They probably need 2 scoops. I'm not going to go through this step by step because I'm sure most of you are probably better gardeners than I am. And then you're going to take your seed and go ahead and plant it in the cup, and then add more dirt on top. Then once you have your dirt on top, you're going to go ahead and add your water. Now, we introduced the spray bottle earlier in helping keep our plants in the Discovery Center doing well, and so you can use that same squirt bottle, or if you have a little watering can, you can introduce that to the students. But it's good, the squirter is good because it doesn't put too much water. I know sometimes you get, if you have like a glass of water, they'll dump the whole thing in there. So that's where a squirter can kind of help control some of that. And then of course you want to put it into a sunny place to get sunlight. Now, while your students are doing this process though, you can refer back to the book that you've already read. Now, we read From Seed to Plant, and so you can refer back to about the part that talks about what plants need to grow. So connect to the students' prior knowledge of what they've already observed in the Discovery Center, what they learned from a book. This is a great time too to pull in any additional books, and we'll put some suggestions into our posts for today. So it's all about connecting that, and because once you have your seed planted, then there's kind of not a whole lot to do. You gotta wait and observe to see what happens. So talking about that while your students are planting their seed is a great opportunity to tie in that science part. Another way to tie in science, by the way, is our Discovery Center when you talk about the plant life cycle. So we've planted our seed, and then you can show, this is from our Discovery Center, and you can see it's starting to wilt and then die. And so you can talk about that then with the life cycle, about how it completes and what happens to the seed and how the plant grows. Now, to help, I have created a plant journal. So this is a space, and I always like to keep it nice and empty and blank so that your students can fill in their thoughts, because it's not about the beautiful clip art that I may have. It's more about what your students are learning. So they have my plant journal, and on the cover, it's a good opportunity for them to draw what they think their plant is going to be like. And if they're using their imagination, that's okay. It's okay that they can get creative with it. So you're tying in some creative thinking into there. And then of course we have our different squares of where you can draw what it looks like. You can do it by day, or maybe you want to do it by week, depending on what type of seed you planted. If it's fast growing, maybe you can do it daily. If it's more slow growing plant, maybe you do it weekly and you check on that. And then there are some more just creative prompts. You could do like, what does my plant need to grow, where a student can draw then what are the different items that a plant needs, like water, sunlight, so that they can document their learning. This is a great way to kind of assess then. It could be you just verbally tell the student and they draw it, or it could be if something they can do independently. But what's great is you can adapt it to your students' needs. Now, this printable journal is included in our post for today. So for those of you that are getting our daily emails, it will be just click on view day 3 and it will be included in there. And that email, day 3 email, will go out later today, maybe this evening. We had a slight delay with day 2, so you should have gotten day 2's email at least by this morning. There was a little hold up with that, so I'm sorry, I apologize. But you should have emails day 1, day 2, and then day 3 will be sent out later today. If you have missed the emails and you are not finding them, or you're not on our list, you can sign up. I will put the link below after this video is done, so you can sign up and get all our free printables that I've been talking about this week. Okay, so now I said I was going to share how you make this project STEAMy, because so far this is a very heavy science activity, and that's okay. When you do STEAM, you don't have to integrate everything all at once. What you want to do is connect the different disciplines together. So maybe while some students are planting, other students are at the art center and they're drawing plants or drawing flowers. Maybe you have a math center where they're sorting and counting seeds. So there are different opportunities like that. But I'm also going to share with you tomorrow the art part that goes along with this. So a little sneak peek of how we're going to do a collaborative art piece. And I'm going to talk about all about that tomorrow in day 4. So today was kind of more the science heavy part, but I promise I will pull it all together and show you how this becomes a STEAMy activity for your students. Okay, well, I am just going to end it there for today. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And I look forward to seeing, oh, and don't forget to share. There are different prompts for day 1, day 2, and I will put up one for day 3 here in the group that if you want to go ahead and make a comment on, I would love for you to share in the group. I know many of you have actually emailed me and shared with me, which is great. I love your emails, but don't be afraid to share in the group too, because we're all here to help each other and to make our students even STEAMier. All right, well, thanks for watching.